Welcome once again to The Sage. Thank you for being with us once again. Welcome to this exciting journey. I am Dr. Kechi Obuagu, a truly blessed guide for you on this series of programs. As I thought about today's program and prepared, I was singing, I was dancing, I was so happy. Because today's show is all about joy. It's about one of the creative arts, but I don't know whether I would say that this is perhaps one of the most important. Because when you have that skill, when you do it, you transport yourself. Today we're going to talk about music and the sheer power and potential that music has to make us better people, to bring us closer to our Maker, to make the world a better place and help us to love one another more. It reminds me of one of the first verses I learnt off heart in the days when I was in school. A line from one of the Shakespearean plays, The Twelfth Night, that says, "If music be the food of love, play on." In that word play, you can hear the need, the wish for it to continue because it's bringing so much pleasure. Yes, music. And within religion itself, many sages and saints have said that he who sings actually prays twice. That is its immense power to magnify, to make you happy, to bring real joy. And so yes, our ability to make music, our ability to appreciate music is a God-given gift. It's a gift, it's an art with the power of transforming our lives, ourselves, our world, our countries into better places. So, welcome to this episode on music, and I'm so excited. I have a particularly talented young man in the studio today who brings to life the sheer beauty of the ability to make music and enjoy music. Stay with us. I will unveil our package in the next segment. Welcome back to The Sage. Thank you for being with us. Now we've come to the truly, truly exciting part of this journey, where you get to meet our wonderful, wonderful guests. I'm so proud to say that he's one of the brilliant entrepreneurs C4C has produced, but a young man with such endearing qualities. Calm, fun, and full of music. When he's with us as a team, before we know where we are, he's singing and we're dancing and we're rejoicing in our fellowship, in being one, in being together. Please join me in welcoming Joshua Adedeji.
Thank you, ma'am.
To the show.
Thank you.
It's a real pleasure. Thank you for agreeing to be with us.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Joshua, tell us about yourself.
Thank you so much, ma'am. My name is Joshua Adedeji. I finished from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. I studied accounting. I'm also a graduate of Conversations for Change, C4C. I'm from Oyo State. One place in Nigeria that you might not know is from Otu. I don't know if you've heard of that before, but I'm from Oyo State. I think that's just a little about me I want to talk about now.
An accountant. How did you find your way to music?
Okay, I think I was watching a comedy yesterday, Death Talker, and I was talking about how that a lot of Nigerian youths all the things they studied in school, they ended up not practicing. So, but I don't think that's the case for me. I think for me, it's passion driven to find myself where I am. So, growing up as a child, I grew up into a family where we love music. So my dad used to be a conga player. I don't know if you know it, conga, like a percussion. Yeah.
Yes.
He's also a deacon in the church. But then at some point, he just told me that, boy, very soon I'll be getting old. I think you should start playing this instrument. And then I started playing it.
Okay.
And then along the way, I started having that, that interest in music. And then I found myself playing the piano. My elder brother, who is now out of the country, plays the piano. So he taught me how to play the piano. And then along the line, if when you love something, when you love a particular thing, music, you just find yourself learning other things that has a relation to that thing. So I learned how to play the guitar. Along the line, I learned how to play the violin. So I play almost all the instruments.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
That was it.
And
for
it
me.
came naturally.
It came natural.
Yeah.
There was not having to struggle to learn one particular instrument because it's just me.
It gave you joy.
Actually. Then I took it further. After school, I did a course with Berklee School of Music because I realized that I needed to go professional, and then if I wanted to enter into some levels, I needed to get that certificate that would help me break through into those institutions. So I had to take a course with Berklee School of Music. So that's my journey actually in music, from accounting to music.
Wow. Well, I think this is a beautiful story of somebody who actually discovered his passion.
Actually.
And we all come to learn that if you're lucky and you do discover your passion, you apply yourself to it.
Actually.
Tell us how you turned this passion into a business.
Okay, after my NYSC, that's my youth service, I was working with a bank. I realized I was struggling there. Yeah, fine, I was doing fine, but then that joy was not there, Like when we said earlier, in music is a food, then you have to keep playing on. So for me, I realized that joy was not there. One day I just walked up to my team lead and said, "Look, I think I want to quit." And I was like, you just joined us. You're barely 3 months in this company. You're young, and why do you want to quit? I said, I think I want to pursue my passion. And then it was like, okay. So I drafted my letter of resignation, and that was it. So at that time, I wasn't doing anything. But prior to the time, I was teaching some children how to play music weekends because I wasn't going to work weekends. So just to ensure that passion inside of me does not die, because I love kids, actually. So I started taking kids, and then at some point, I just had to submit my resignation letter, and then I started. So I turned it into business. That
takes courage, no?
Actually.
But it's a great lesson. It's a great lesson because for many of us and for many of our viewers out there, there may come a time in your life where you need to find that courage.
Absolutely.
To follow your heart, to follow your passion. Absolutely. We're happy for you that you did.
Thank you.
So tell us about the structure. So what kind of a business is it? What is it you're doing now?
Okay, the name of the business is Jelly's Academy. So it's a school of creative and performing arts. So recently we introduced home lessons. So the structure is that we get children from schools. We go to schools and then we tell them what we do. So when we get to those schools, we tell them, oh, you know what? Your kids can actually learn music. They can learn how to code, because we also do code in ICT. They can learn how to code. They can learn how to dance. So why don't you allow us come into your school and bring what we do? If you don't want to come to our school, we could actually come to your school.
Okay.
Then there's another side of the business that you can come to our school to learn what we do. So the structure is just to teach children how to play musical instrument. We teach drums. We teach the piano. We teach the guitar. We also do voice training. So if you have a crappy voice or you have a daughter that
What
has
about
a career.
old age voice? Can
Yeah,
he be
we
trained?
do for old age, and I think Dr. Kichi, I think when we were still having the series of the training, I realized that you actually have a good voice. So I just felt like, I mean, you should sign up one of these days for one of
You
our.
will come back to the show.
So.
Wow,
So that's it. That's our structure. Teaching children how to play the musical instruments, and then singing, and then coding, ICT. So what we felt like, I mean, the world is tending to an age that if your child is not good with ICT, he or she might just be lost in the system.
Hold it right there, Joshua.
Okay.
We'll come back to that because that's very important.
Okay.
Thank you all. We're going to take a break, but do stay with us. We're going to continue with this extremely interesting discussion. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. I am Dr. Kechi Obuago, the guide, the sage on this journey, and we've been talking to an exceedingly exciting young man. And I had stopped him in the previous segment when he started talking about the structure of his Jellies Academy, of his business. And before I let you tell us a bit more, let me just say that one of the things that is so wonderful about Joshua too is the fact that he has this give about him, this reaching out, this need to share his talents, to impart his skills to others, particularly young people. So please go on, tell us about how you mentor young people, how you train, and a little bit more about this, your Jellies Academy. How is it structured? And what have been the challenges? Has it been easy, plain going? How did you cope with the COVID?
Okay, I think I should take it first from the COVID, from the challenges. When COVID started, it was tough, and we had to shut down for about a month. And then a friend walked up to me and said, if people could do masters online, then that means you could actually do your music, you can run your program online. And then I said, that's actually very thoughtful of you. So I had to reach out to some of our clients, our parents, and I said, okay, you know what? But before doing that, I needed to do some research myself. So how do you make online lessons or classes impactful to your learners? So I did that, and I realized that I needed to download some softwares. For instance, I needed to download. Yes, thank you, C4C. They actually gave us a laptop during the program. So the laptop they gave us, I had to use that for research, and then I downloaded a piano, a drum, and then a guitar on my system. So that was the interface between me and the students. So I did that, and I reached out to the parents. I said, look, there's a new structure. Some parents in Nigeria, we started out with them. I think we started with 2 parents in Nigeria, and then before you knew it, this one told a friend, this one told a friend, that one told a friend. And at some point, I was working around the clock. I mean, we had some parents in Canada, and I think their time zone difference is about 8 hours. So at times I have to stay awake 12 a.m. in the morning, to have my classes. So I was working around the clock. So COVID for me was a flexing moment, we were cashing out, funds were coming. So that was it for us, and we just turned the whole situation into our advantage. I think that was what happened.
Yeah. That's what makes a real entrepreneur.
Actually, and I mean, up until now we are still doing it. And guess what? Since the COVID started, and even post-COVID, and now, we haven't used our office space ever since. We've been doing our classes. We've been having our classes online. So
that is the world post-COVID.
Actually,
everything is going virtual.
Actually, a client called me in Lagos 2 weeks ago, Lekki, and she said, "This online thing, how does it work?" So I sent some videos to her. I said, "Okay, watch some of our children playing the piano." I said, "Okay, do you love what you saw?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, everything you saw. Do you think we had a physical class?" She said, "Obviously, you couldn't have achieved this with online class." I said, "It was online." And she was like, "Wow." And then I said, okay, I'm going to do a free one-day trial. And she was there with the child when we were having the class. And after the class, she was like, you know what? I'm registering my son today. And she called one of her friend, one of her neighbor, and that one also registered.
I mean, that is great. And how do parents, for many of the people who are watching, how do they get their own children to join your online classes? Yeah.
Okay, so they could actually reach out to us. We have an Instagram handle at GLS Academy, or you reach out to us on our mobile. But once you check our Instagram handle, it's the same handle for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, GLS Academy.
You're good. It's displaying on screen.
Exactly.
So our viewers are seeing it.
I mean, you can reach out to us online at GLS Academy.
Okay, that is great.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And as your former headmistress, what did C4C do?
So this was the miracle. C4C to me was a miracle. You know, a friend told us about C4C. And then at that time, we had just one piano we were using. And it was a very big one. It was a very big one. And then we had no drums we were using. We had just one laptop. Got spoiled, so we needed to purchase a laptop. So while we were ending our program with C4C, that was when COVID started. I don't know if you can still remember. That was when COVID started. And it was at that time we did our purchase of those musical instruments. So the laptop we are using now, the piano we are using now, the drums we are using now for our online classes. That was the period we purchased everything.
Wow, good for us.
So, I mean, everything just happened. It was like God planned it. So it
did.
Actually, so it wasn't me having to think of, okay, I mean, this is COVID. I don't want to spend money to buy a piano. How do I purchase a piano? How do I purchase a drum, laptop? So it just came at that time. And, you know, so I think I give it to C4C. I would say that you guys were in the spirit. You guys were in the spirit. Thank you, C4C. So that was it, actually.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of the family.
Thank you.
And thank you for the joy you bring not just to us, but to so many out there.
And I think I should let my audience know that I'm a graduate of C4C. I mean, C4C is Conversations for Change. I'm a proud graduate of this institution and this great family. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Stay with us. We'll be back for the concluding segment. In fact, it's going to be the most exciting part of this show. Stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Sage, and thank you for having stayed with us. But it's going to be worth your while, because like I said, this is the peak of this show. We can let a wonderful performing artist like this come without showing us what he's made of. So Joshua, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate a little, play a little, sing a little, and let me just share a secret with our audience. For those in the family, all of us in C4C, we have what we call a theme song. And Joshua has beautified and led us in this joyful activity, this food of love. And we're going to make him perform a little, and I'm going to shock all of you by joining him and showing that age, being a sage, is not an impediment to enjoying music and we're even going to dance. Over to you.
Okay, so if we're going to dance, I think we should stand up. And this is the point where I really want you to sing, just to buttress my point that you have a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life,
God has given me.
I know who I am. One more time.
We are a chosen generation, who be called for to show His excellence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I require from life, God has given me. I know
What he says I am, what he says I was. I know who I am, I know who God says I am. What he says I am, the word he says I'm not. I know who I am. I'm walking in power, I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor. 'Cause I know. Now this is it. Take a look at me, I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can you see his glory? I know. Sing, oh, I know. Now let's do that again. Take a look at me, I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. See his glory. I know. Oh, I know who I am. Thanks so much, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
While we're still standing, let me just say, as we're still so joyful, so happy, say a few last words to our audience. What would you say to other young people like you who need to find their passion, follow it, and use their skills?
Thank you so much, Mommy, once again. Whatever you're doing, please never lose your focus. It might be tough at the start, but never lose your focus. It might look like there's an experience at the start, but I mean, never lose your focus. Just keep pushing, keep pushing. There is a river ahead of you waiting for you, so never lose your focus. Once again, thank you, Mommy.
Wow. I don't think there can be a better ending than that. Never lose your focus. Find your passion. Keep at it. If you fall, pick yourself up. Never lose your focus. You will make it. Thank you for being with us. I'm sure you agree it's been an exciting, a wild journey. Tune in again next week when we bring yet a wonderful, exciting young person to talk to you. Joshua, thank you.
Thank you, Mommy.